Now I will talk about group control charts. So you can take a look at the definition of group control chart here. So here you can see that the group quality control chart plots multiple streams of observations or attributes on the same chart. 2 points are plotted for each of the samples for which measurements are collected, producing two plotted lines across samples. So basically, in a group control chart, you can see that multiple lines are there. You can see that multiple lines are there: green, violet, blue, or purple. Okay, so these are the examples of group control chart because multiple streams of observations are presented in the same chart. Okay, so here you can see that a group control chart is one in which number of subgroups from different sources which are homogeneous are combined in a single simplified chart. Different subgroups may come from different shifts, different identical machines, or different operators. In such cases, group control chart helps to differentiate the various subgroup sources which are plotted on the same chart, provided all these subgroup sources must be aiming at the same value of the measured quality characteristics. The various subgroup sources should have approximately same dispersion or averages. For example, if there are 5 machines operating in parallel and 3 of these are able to hold much closer tolerances than the other two, the group chart will not be appropriate. You can understand what is actually group control chart and when to use group control chart. In previous cases, when we have discussed about control chart for attributes, we have discussed about X bar chart and R chart. In that case, we have seen that there were, you can see that there were only one line was there. Okay. Why? Because we were taking the data from same shift or from same machine, okay, or from same operators, we have taken this particular data. But it can happen that in all the cases, you might have you can use different machines or different operators or different shifts. Okay, so in that case, you will have different subgroups. Okay, and under a particular subgroup, the samples that you will take or the observations, not samples, the observations that you will have uh, under a particular subgroup or samples, you can say. So that will be categorized under a particular subgroup. So take a look at this thing. The idea will be clear. For example, you take a look at this thing. There are this problem consists of there are three different subgroups: one, 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 two, 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 three, three. So one, two, and three. There are three subgroups. Okay. So from each subgroup, you are actually, uh, I mean, from each in under each subgroup, you are using these three machines: one, two, three. These machines. Under the subgroup 2, 1, 2, 3, these three machines are there. Under subgroup 3, 1, 2, 3, three machines are there. That means for under each subgroup, you are using different machines. But it is to be noted that under different subgroups, you need to use the same machines. Same uh, uh, particular type of machine. For example, under subgroup 111, we have used machine number 123. Under subgroup number 222, we cannot use machine number 1, 2, and 4. No, we need to use this machine 3. Okay, so when you will have multiple number of machines during that time, you can use the the group control chart. Okay, and so automatically, so now follow the next slide. Then these are the diameter of part A and diameter of part B, and the averages have been calculated and ranges have been calculated. And then you can do your you can plot your X bar and R chart using the traditional formula. Now to make the idea clearer, uh, you just have a look at this thing. Here in this example, there are parts. You can see there could be 3 parts or 4 parts, 5 parts, and so on. But at least there should be 2 parts which are being processed by machine 1 or machine 2 or machine 3. But if there is only one part, then you cannot find out the range. You cannot, the range chart is invalid. Only you can do the X bar chart. Okay. But at least 2 parts you need to be processed for to get the R value. Okay, right. Now, when you are calculating this X bar, simply speaking, you are just taking the average of it, 933 plus 897 divided by 2. You are getting the value of 915. And when you are how you are getting the range R, it is just 933 minus 897 is equal to 36. And the same thing you are doing for all these calculations, right? Now you notice that here I have mentioned this is L and this is H. Why? Because if I consider the subgroup 1, then the lowest reading is 915 for X bar and the highest reading is 926 X bar. And if I consider R or range, then the highest reading is 39 and the lowest reading is 23. So the same thing we should do for all the cases, like for all the cases means for all the subgroups. This is second subgroup. Here you can see that 902, uh, uh, this is the highest here, and 870 is the lowest. Here the 60 is the range, this is highest, and 2 is the lowest range, so and so on. So you can calculate. There are actually, in the main problem, there are 6 subgroups. I have not given here the 6 subgroups, but actually in the main problem you will find that there are 6 subgroups. So you need to do this calculation for all the 6 subgroups. And after that, you will just, when you will construct this particular X bar chart or R chart, you will be calculating the X double bar. It will be just the average of all the X bars. It will be just the average of all the X bars, nothing else. and when all the x bars, okay, and what will be the r bar? Average of all the r will be r bar. For you need to consider 6 subgroups. I have not given here the 6 subgroups. Okay, so the thing is absolutely the same. Okay, there is no problem. And then you need to consider, then you need to uh, apply the same formula of the upper control limit that you have used for calculation of the x bar and for the calculation of upper control limit and lower control limit. You use the same formula that you have used for the x bar calculation for single channel. So now you take, now you consider part A. Okay, now you consider part A. Okay, so you will have, you will get uh, actually how this is becoming 15.89, some little bit more than 15.9 or 89, little bit more of 15.89. Actually, the x bar will be something, some around 900 or something like that, but you, they have used some special unit, so that's why they have converted it. You, in the book of in Mahajan, you will get this example, and they have found out this bar accordingly. Okay. So and so when, so why there are two graphs? These two graphs actually represent. You can see here that there are 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So why there are 6 points? Because you are actually using uh, one graph, because you know that you have 6 subgroups. Okay, so for each subgroup, what is the average reading that you are considering? So how to represent this? For example, suppose this is uh, I don't know, here it is not clear that which particular curve represents which particular part. That is not, here it is not mentioned. Okay, here it is not mentioned that. But suppose, for example, uh, uh, suppose now I am considering that this particular curve is for part A, and the second curve that is for part B. Okay, so how you need to calculate this thing? So for one subgroup number 1, for part A, you will be calculating the average. Then for the second group, you will be calculating the average, and you will obviously convert it to the unit that you are actually considering for the, for plotting these points. For 3, you will calculating the averages, and you will plot your graphs accordingly. 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Okay. And when you will calculate for part B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and for part B, when you will calculate, then again you will take the averages. Averages you will take, and you will plot the curves accordingly. Okay, the same thing is also for R chart. Now, one modification is there. I have modified the slide. Actually, the main problem is that instead of three machines, they are using four machines, and the subgroup size is from 1 to 6. Okay, and the graph should be plotted not taking the average. Here in this case, we only plot the highest and the lowest values. Okay, that means, for example, suppose if this is the problem, then after drawing the x double bar, upper control limit and lower control limit, I will plot the highest and the lowest. So the two lines here that you can see, one is for the highest values and another is for the lowest values. So first, let's look at the highest values. Just take a look at the lowest values. Okay, curve. Okay. So here, in case of the subgroup size, here you can see that there are 6 subgroups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 points are there. And here you can see that the lowest value is given by number 1 machine for subgroup number 1. Okay, so your lowest value will be here. You will plot your lowest value here, and you will plot your highest value 926. This value you will plot. This value you will plot here. Okay, and in this case, since this is third number of machines gives you the highest value, you can write here 3. It will indicate that the third value machine is giving you the highest value, and one first machine is giving you the lowest value. Then for the second subgroup, you just see that for the second subgroup, the lowest value is 870. Okay, so this is given by the first machine. So the lowest value will be, again, it will be 1. First machine is giving you the lowest value, and the highest value is given by the machine number 2, highest value. So you can put it here 2, because the highest value is given by this machine. So it will be 2. Okay, so again, for the third, the highest value is given by the, again it is giving by the it is first machine. So here it will be, for the third case, it will be third case, it will be 1, and for the second case it will be and for the least case it will be third machine. So here it will be 3. Okay, so in this way you need to do the pointings. Okay, so thanks for watching.